Hey Shooby-Doodlers, well I hope you have now come to terms with drawing the mannequin body, and now it is time to kind of put flesh on that body and put clothes on that body, which is probably what you wanted to do all along. I think one of the main problems that people have when drawing clothes on cartoon people are the sort of folds in the elbows and the knees and that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you how to do those. But first of all, I'm going to show you kind of how to build up sort of flesh on the mannequin body and then drape kind of clothes over that shape.
Okay, well let's start with two mannequins of the type that we've kind of got used to drawing now. And we'll just have that there. The legs going to be about like that, aren't they? And I think that foot will be forward to us, and that will be slightly to one side. That will be the hand. And let's do something a little more adventurous. So we have two bodies here, and basically what we need to do is to kind of flesh them out a little bit. And you're probably going to want to cut from the shoulders, then you want to kind of come around the outside, and then you'll want more on the inside like that. So this will be a man with the hips aren't that big, and that can come about there, and just kind of work your way around so you're getting a rough kind of body shape. Then we're going to want to have some clothes on. So the clothes are going to basically kind of go down to the wrists, where you're going to get so the clothes are going to come down to the wrists, where you're going to get a cuff, and then we're going to get a belt round about there if this is a man, and the shirt will sort of come down there. So this is kind of a fairly well, not too sort of plump person, and we're going to get the clothes will be kind of going like that, just slightly wider basically, and then the shoe will be there like that. Now I don't want you to worry about the face or the hands or the feet. It's not a problem. Today we're worrying about clothes. Now we also have a problem with collars, so I'll show you them a little bit later. And if we just kind of go around all of this, and we can come down to there. Now what people have a lot of trouble with is the folds, and so folds are not easy. But what you can do is here I think you're going to get a fold because it's kind of in the bend, but just do a little kind of ziggy zag kind of thing there. And where the shirt comes up into the armpits, then just put a little zigzag kind of there, and then I should have done it more over there, and then bring the shirt kind of down to where the belt line is going to be. Then here, because this is on the inside, you can bring that down and just a little kind of wiggle. And of course here this is going to be slightly stretched, so you won't get that kind of fold there. And then the cuffs, and I'm just going to put very simple hands in here. Now here with the trousers, you're going to get, I'm going to put two little pockets there. So this all depends on the style of the trousers. Trousers, I call them trousers, you may call them pants. On the pants, trousers, here you might get a little kind of wiggle there. Here again on the crutch, you know, where you're going to get folds here. Now you're definitely going to get something there behind the knee, and you might even get something below the knee there, where you just bring that in a bit there, and we might get a fold in there. And then the shoes I'm just going to do is kind of a trapezium shape, and here this is just a kind of triangle, and that's all you need to worry about. If you want to make him kind of look more steady, put a bit of shadow there and a horizon line. Now we can make this a lady, So she's going to be a bit more bulky in the top, and she's going to be a bit more bulky in the hips as well. And then it's just kind of fleshing out, really. And that's going to be more like that. And again, let's have a kind of a collar. Let's have a kind of fashionable collar like that. And then I'm going to give her a kind of a dress, which will be going that way because she's sort of moving that way. And I'm going to make these feet really, really simple and make these kind of curved, kind of ellipses on the end. And let's see what we get. So if we draw in the head and a neck, and we can bring that to there, this will kind of almost curve down like that. And there's the bust, and there might be a belt there. So we've got her kind of dancing. This is very, very simple. And now here, because we've got bare arms, you don't need to worry about, I'm just doing that hand very, very quickly. You don't need to worry about the folds here. I'm doing very, very simple hands. Now what you can do is, if you think about the shoe as being an ellipse, and then do another little ellipse on the top. So as you come down, follow it around that ellipse, and then that ellipse will be kind of on the top there. This will be a kind of an ellipse there, and then you want another kind of ellipse there. If you want a little bit of heel, you can do that too. And there is a very, very simple way of how to clothe the mannequins that I hope you have been drawing by the 100. We can add a bit of shading in there, like that, just to give a bit extra. And then if you have been drawing your pencil gently and not kind of pressed too hard and ingrained it into the paper, you should be able to erase the pencil lines. End up with much cleaner drawings like that. So how does this relate if you want to draw a more well-built person? Well, for a start, the head, the neck is going to be much more thicker, and you're going to want much thicker body parts altogether. What am I trying to say? So, although I think, coming to the wrists, those kind of extremities and the hands won't be that much more enormous. Now with the man here, he's going to have moobs. Which is a horrible word. So he's going to be more bulky. And it's a question of kind of drawing, there's going to be his tummy button there. It's kind of a question of drawing what this person is going to be like underneath. And he's going to have much heavier legs, probably coming down to, the ankles aren't that much bigger. And then we're going to have these shoes down at the bottom. So then the clothes, the collar will be much more, again, it needs to be up around the neck, doesn't it, the collar? And you're going to find that's going around there. And then we're going to have a kind of a wiggle. I think I can probably start drawing this in, actually. So let's have the face there, and collar coming around like that. And you're going to get much more rounded shoulders because there's much more kind of flab around, basically. There's just a lot more padding. On the other one, you remember we started here in the armpits, so sort of draw the outside of the arms like that. And then in the armpits, we're going to want to sort of come around like that and have that shirt. I'm going to sort of draw buttons down there. Have that shirt coming right the way around the side, and in fact it's probably hanging over the belt area. I'm just going to put very, very quick scribbled in hands like that. And then the trousers, they will probably kind of fold in underneath the knees like that. And I know on the sheet that accompanies this, I talk about these zigzags. Either draw zigzags or petals, and I think maybe you can draw kind of petals there. And again, I think this will probably sort of fold in under the knee like that. And you can draw something like that. And these are just kind of triangles. Think of that as down, across, and up, down, across, and up. And then we can put some laces in there as well. So that's a kind of a more chunky man. And a more well-built lady is going to be kind of the same. She'll have very rounded shoulders. She's going to be quite big in the bust. And will be quite big on the hips too. So you can kind of work that out like that. So again, into the elbows, down to the wrists. This is quite a chunky lady. So what will we give her this time? And this, of course, is another problem. What on earth to dress your characters in? And I think I've shown you several times to go get clothing catalogues and find something that you like the look of. I'm going to give her quite a kind of a low cut top there, and then I'm going to do kind of short sleeves. Well, no, let's do sleeves to about there, I think. And so ladies kind of do like to be quite close fitting. And I'm going to give her a skirt this time, I think, there. And here we want this kind of oval thing going on there again. So I'm making this up as I go along, by the way. And this will sort of come around from behind and then go around behind as well. She's going to have a little kind of wiggle in the top there as a kind of a crease, and then that will be the sleeve coming down there. And then we want to see her arms coming down there. And then the skirt will sort of come that way. So a much bulkier shape, but still all built on that very, very same original frame, just building out and padding and padding. All your characters will be built up exactly like this, depending on, how much padding they have, basically. Not just how much padding, but where you put the padding as well. Now, you may decide to do that you prefer drawing kind of comic characters. And they work just the same, really. You kind of got a ball there, and but you might instead of having sort of nice straight bones with joints in the middle, you can do kind of weird curves and things, whatever you like. But the building up is exactly the same. So you might do something like that. It's exactly the same. Then you want to kind of build a curve around there. And maybe that's wants to come around that way, and you'll want to then build the shirt there, and you can probably take the trousers, pants straight out like that, and then it's just kind of following here. You can probably let's just do that and make them thinner. And it's just a much, much simpler kind of thing going on. What about with a lady? Let's have her dancing. Again, we don't need to worry about joints and elbows and things, so we can just do curves like that. And she's going to be much more... I haven't done the frame underneath, have I? There. Okay, and let's have her kind of dancing that way. So again, we should be able to just do curves like that and give her a skirt going away like that. Let's ink those in so you have a face and maybe a t-shirt kind of collar. And remember, the shirt will tend to the shirt part will tend to go up into the arm. You don't have to do it that way at all. You could have it just stop and be a right angle there. I'm going to do straight down to the shoe and across there. I'm going to follow that line all the way around to keep the movement going. Across like that. There we'll have the hand. There we'll have the hand. We could give him a stripy t-shirt. Very, very simple. So but it's a much more comic kind of effect. And the lady, I'm going to just curve those hands straight up around there. It doesn't matter how thick they are or thin they are. You can do whatever you like. When you start drawing comic characters, you know, all the rules sort of change. So I'm going to give her a kind of a ballet dancer's kind of dress kind of thing like that. And then her feet, they'll just curve around there. And they'll just curve around there. Like that. And again, if you've drawn it lightly, you'll be able to erase all those things. The other drawings that I've done on this video have not had a huge amount of clothes on, just a normal everyday kind of amount of clothes on. What happens if you want to put a lot of clothes on? So I'm thinking that if we kind of have the body and we work out what's going to be going on underneath, there's the body. Let's say it's the middle of winter. We're going to want to have a kind of a hood and a huge big kind of padded thing. Again, this will tend to crease on the inside, on the crook of the elbow, and we can just put big mittens on there, and this will kind of tend to be rounded over the shoulder, and again we'll get a crease in the crook there, and then you're going to find the crease up there, and you'll find maybe this gets sort of drawn in around the waist. So there's a great big parka going on, and again you're going to get kind of creases on the inside of the legs there. So yes, so I'm not going to have boots. So the boots will be tucked up inside, I think. So these are just ellipses at the bottom, and let's see what we get. So that's going to be kind of over the top there, and we'll see the head looking out through there. Now I'm going to start here with a kind of a zigzag again, and this is going to zigzag in around here as well, and you're going to get kind of, oops, had a phone call in the middle of that. Let's take this round, and then you want that kind of little zigzag there, and probably want that kind of tucked in there. That will come to there. Little zigzag, and just kind of tuck it in there, and then you're going to want these mittens on the end. And then probably got a sort of a zippy thing down there, and that will come around there like that. And then you probably find there's a little bit of a kind of a fold under the knee as well, like that there. And then the legs will probably have a zigzag on the knee point there as well. And then you're going to have great big snow boots or something like that, aren't you? Have some snow all around, just to put it into context. So that's kind of more bulky clothing, but the principle is the same. It's just sort of building it up, and when you come to the folds, just do those little zigzags and see how that works for you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that and understood it. And what I want you to do, obviously, is just to draw and draw and draw lots and lots of these. Don't worry about the face or the hands or the feet. We'll come to those later in other videos. Now, the next video is going to be quite a short video, but showing you how to draw collars and kind of the shape of a jacket. Now, if you have a problem drawing other little details on clothes, do let me know. And then I can make videos which will be kind of like an addendum to this video, so we can build up a little library of how to draw various bits on clothes. And I'm sure that things that you have difficulty with and want to know how to draw, other people will want to know about as well. So don't hesitate to ask. In the meantime, you know what I'm going to say. Keep drawing, drawing, drawing. Practice, practice, practice. It really does help if you can keep drawing these things over and over again. It gets into your brain and it kind of connects through to your hand, and your hand builds up its own kind of memory of all the different lines that it needs to draw. So until next time, take care.